Are you tired of doing free labor for everyone? I am. This is the same for doula work. So let's talk about this. When I'm talking about what do you charge for your first clients, I don't mean like don't do volunteer work. I do a ton of philanthropy. I love doing philanthropic work. I'm talking about the assumption that care work should be no cost or extremely low cost. And it's because this has historically been done by women and queer folks. And so it's been, typically it's fairly undervalued. I love this. People me a jacket. Anyway, okay. Typically it's been wildly undervalued. And so, you're already doing so much care work for free. We do it all the time. And now you're doing this as a business, so you deserve to be paid for it. There's this belief in the doula world that your first clients should be free or like extremely low cost, but you've already invested in your education. You have lots of lived experience. You might have careers that have already kind of like led you to this. You might have been a nanny or an ECE or a teacher or a nurse. Like there's so many things that have got you to this point. And so you're not just like walking out of your training with no experience like this. And you also, when you are doing that client care, you've probably had to get a babysitter or pay for pet care, or you've parked or your gas, or you bought clothes for it. Like, I don't know, but you've already invested your time and money into this, and you can't do this at a deficit to you. Like your job can't cost you money. And so, if you are taking on a client that if you had more experience, they would have paid you, then like get paid, doula. Like for sure. Those are the folks that I'm talking about that have this assumption like, oh, it's my first time, therefore I shouldn't charge you for this. And also, I don't want you to come into the doula community that you're planning on working within and undercutting the doulas that are already existing there. Because then what happens is people are like, well, if you can do it for free, or if you could do it for $200, why is this doula charging $3,000? And essentially it like drives the price down, rather than as a community, you're making a commitment to always drive the price up. Because as I say, care work is wildly underappreciated. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go find out what a personal support worker makes. Go find out what a daycare worker makes. Go find out what house cleaners make. Like, it is so undervalued if you compared to the same level of jobs that are typically done by men. And like, any of those kind of like comparable jobs, they would not do any of those things at the rate at which we do it, which is free or like minimum wage or just a little bit above minimum wage. And so we need to, as a community, continue to keep raising the price. If you want to do your birth at no cost, you can use this as a chance to do a really awesome, act of philanthropy for your new brand. And then you can go to the local shelter. You can go to find out where there's folks that are newcomers or refugees that might not have any income yet, housing or community. You can go to find out what programs are for unsupported teens. You could go see if there's any programs that allow you to support incarcerated folks. Like, there are lots and lots of ways that you can gain experience if it feels important for you to, give to a community that would otherwise not afford it. But if you're like helping your cousin's friend and they could pay you, please make sure that you get paid for your birth. So if you're not sure what you should charge, roughly find out what is happening in your doula community, find the range, and price yourself right in the middle. That's like kind of like a quick and dirty tool, but pricing can be a tricky thing. So in the next video, I'm actually going to walk through how to price your packages and how to kind of create your pay structure. We'll see you there.